There is no heavier burden than not meeting your potential. The great part about life is that every day we get a chance to create our potential. The past is not your potential. Now is your potential. So when it comes to potential, it's not what society wants you to be. It's not what your parents want you to be. It's what you want in your heart. And you must recognize the desires you have in your heart before you can make things happen. Sometimes we can kill our own potential by just overthinking shit. And then there's some other times where we have things that I'm about to mention that will ultimately cause you to lose your potential, regardless of if you choose not to. Probably the biggest potential killer is gonna be vices. When I say vices, I don't mean like you play video games every so often or you eat bad or whatever, so every so often. I'm talking about where these sort of, things that are not necessarily good for you are completely controlling your life. Like, for example, I know a lot of dudes who watch this are struggling with watching porn. That is a vice, and it's a very big potential killer. Because, from my experience, back when I used to watch porn, I stopped watching porn probably for at this point, to be keeping it real with you guys, 6 months, So when I got back from Houston, I was like, all right, it's time to get serious about this shit. I need to make a move on what I want to do now or I'm fucked. The worst thing about porn is that it forces guys not to take action on things they want. When you watch porn, you're so overly stimulated that when you see a pretty girl, you actually see a really pretty girl out in real life, you're so fucking desensitized from all this kind of shit, you don't have the balls to walk up to her. You're drained. Another big one is just, playing video games too much, eating bad foods too much. These all ultimately contribute to your mentality. If all you do is sit there and play GTA all life, dreaming about what life could be like, you're never gonna have the mindset to go get after what you want. The thing about being a man is you need to be able to step up to the plate when the times get going. You can't just sit around waiting for some shit to happen. One of the big things I notice in a lot of my friends is that a lot of dudes are sitting there waiting for something to happen. They're waiting for some sort of special sign to get after it. I'm not waiting for shit to happen. I'm getting after it today. Not all vices are bad. A lot of them can be used as motivation. The second biggest thing I see that kills men's potential has to be not taking sacrifices and not taking risks. When you're in your 20s like I am, taking risk and making sacrifices is the key to success at this point. We have never lived in an era where it's so easy to become successful. All you gotta do is take the first step. When it comes to taking sacrifices and taking risk, it's not like you just do it one time and you're just gonna become successful. It's a consistent effort of you sacrificing and taking risk. Every day is a new day for you to, sacrifice who you are, become the man you want to be. My whole life so far has been sacrifices. Me sitting on this YouTube shit, talking to you guys about game is a sacrifice I'm making. I'm supposed to be at Hollywood Studios right now. Shout out to LA. I always say this, and I'm always gonna say this. Your fear of looking stupid is what's holding you back. I'm a man who's very prideful, so it's like I have a very big ego. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Not in the way, and there's nothing wrong with having a big ego. You should have an ego. If you ever want to make anything happen in this world, you need to have an ego. But I know myself enough to know that I have a very big ego and I don't like looking stupid. And one of the biggest things I'm always trying to overcome is that fear of looking stupid, whether it's approaching a chick, taking a risk, making these YouTube videos, whatever. By sacrificing my ego, I know that the sacrifices I make today will bring me the results tomorrow. And that's kind of how you got to look at these things, Not everything has to be in the moment. Not everything has to be benefiting you now. Just realize that the sacrifices you make today will ultimately give you what you want tenfold in the future. So the third biggest potential killer is gonna be a bad support system. A lot of guys don't have the friends, don't have the family there to support them. I'm not telling you guys to use that as an excuse not to make a move, but just realize that a bad support system can really fuck up your whole entire system of how you work and how you operate. So ideally, you're either gonna wanna have people there that support you or you don't wanna have anyone at all. I think having a bad support system, such as people who are pessimistic about what you want, people who are always talking shit about what you do, those people, you can't have them in your life, man. There's too many people talking to you at the same time, man. You're never ever gonna get the confidence you need to succeed. So a lot of the times when it comes to dealing with situations where you got bad support systems, you just gotta let them know, what it is. And if you can't, and they don't like that, just keep them at a distance. Just don't, have limited association with them, essentially. We've all heard stories of these potential Michael Jordan type players or these super crazy stud athletes who got mixed in with the wrong crowd and ultimately ended up losing all their potential. They went to jail, they ended up just being bums. It's essentially you meet the right people in your life that are influencing you to do the right things. If you're doing the right things in life, you're hitting the gym, you're grinding in your craft, you'll meet the right people naturally. But it's when you're doing your vices, whether it's going out to bars to drink, smoking weed with the wrong people, that's where you meet these bad influences. So be very, very wary of these kind of cats because they will bring you down to hell with them. The number 4 big potential killer is honestly very simple. It's guys who lack goals and get complacent. If you don't have a goal in mind, you don't know where you're going. You always gotta know where to end before you start. A lot of men have a lot of great potential in them. A lot of these dudes are very, very good hustlers. They got all the drive in the world, but they have no direction. As a man, you gotta have a direction where you're going. So a lot of men are so overly stimulated that they have no sort of voice within their head. These dudes are literally fucking bots. They literally just move off of their primal instinct. They have no sort of recognition of what they want in their hearts. So I'm almost convinced that some of these guys, when they're, taking a shower, don't have anything in their head. They just think about like woman, money, sex, drugs. I feel like a lot of guys are really like just done with it. I feel like a lot of these dudes are like fucking the Flintstone characters. You can't be moving throughout life without some sort of goal in mind. You need to be always looking at the next step, the next chapter. Even if you're a fucking multimillionaire, you should be looking at like, okay, now that I'm a multimillionaire, and now that I have all the money I want in the world, let me go ahead here and build up a legacy for myself now. Let me go get some, let me go find my wife or whatever you want to be on. I'm just giving you guys examples of what I mean. A lack of goals ultimately creates complacency. That's why you see a lot of these cats who were really good in high school, they go get their masters from college and they never do anything in life because they feel like that's the end point for them. As a dog, as a wolf, there is no stopping. You always gotta be hungry. The number 5 potential killer, which might be honestly the hardest one to avoid, is lack of patience. In today's day and era, it's even more pressure on us to get instantly better at shit and get instantly rich than ever has been before. And whenever I get lazy, I always reflect on Iman saying,
you need to get rich, and you need to get rich quick.
That always rings in my head because that's the kind of mindset you gotta have, but you also gotta understand that there's a process behind getting rich. It isn't an overnight process. It isn't, you just snap your fingers like Thanos and it's here. Every day it's just putting in that work and just, praying and having faith that everything will work out in the end. Just an honorable potential killer that I want to list is not relocating from your hometown. This one here is probably not talked about enough because sometimes you could have the right ideas and be the right person and have all the right skill sets to succeed, but you're in the wrong place. For example, I'm from Buffalo, New York. Where I'm from, there is no hustlers. The kind of people there don't grind like I do. It's just what it is, Most people there are happy with what they got. There's nothing wrong with that. But from a dude like me, I want more in life. I want to be able to, go on vacation like this 24/7, whenever I want. In Buffalo, there is no opportunity. You're very lucky if you see a chick you like there, let alone have somebody who's actually doing some shit you're on. There's very few of us. LA, it's like, damn, there's so many opportunities here. And it may be harder, for example, dating in a place like LA compared to like a place like Buffalo. But as a man, you gotta accept those challenges. I love a challenge like that. Okay, it's harder to date in LA. Guess what? I got way more opportunity to get better at it. Buffalo, New York, for example, it's like, damn, you can be the right dude at the right time. Like, damn, man, there's just nothing to talk to, nothing to be on. There's a reason why people relocate. In the 48 laws, there's a law called recreate yourself. When you have power over your own image, it allows you to create something that's never been done before. If you can eliminate all these potential killers or even just have one, you'll be way better off. There's a lot of men that you guys see that are having all 5, all 6. And that is a guarantee you'll fail. You can't have a bad support system, not be patient, and then have, vices and think you're gonna win in life. It's just not possible. And if no one else is gonna support you and be proud of what you got going on, listen, I know where you're at, and I support you as well. So let's keep grinding, boys. By the way, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I post self-improvement content daily on there. On top of that too, make sure you guys click the subscribe button. I'm posting weekly. Also make sure you click the bell notification. I don't post more than once a week, so you guys are not gonna get your shit blown up. With that said, let's continue to make the YouTube ball roll, and I'll holler back. Peace.